just plan to grit and bear every step of the way and refuse to let my children or myself go hungry. I gotta try to explain to them this doesn't mean that they have to eat less. I can still afford to provide them with at least the minimal nutrition they need to be able to function at school every day, to be able to play the sports that they want to play, and to be able to sit down and have a meal with them.
That was Maine resident and SNAP recipient Kelly Austin speaking to Morning in America on Saturday. She is one of the nearly 42 million Americans nationwide who rely on the federal food assistance program to feed their families. A federal ruling late Saturday requires the Trump administration to create plans to keep.
Let's see something. Percentage of the population on SNAP. So you mean to tell me Oregon, California, Nevada, so basically the places where it seemed like it's the most populated outside of Texas, Oregon, New Mexico, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and Louisiana, more than 16% of the population is on SNAP benefits. Wow. That's a lot of people, man. We ain't got but 350 million people inside of the United States of America.
A federal ruling late Saturday requires the Trump administration to create plans to keep the program funded. But there is still uncertainty on when that help might come. So food banks across the country are bracing for a surge of more people asking for help. Here with us is Cynthia Kirkhart, CEO of Facing Hunger Food Bank based in West Virginia. Cynthia, good morning. Thank you so much for coming on.
Good morning.
As this plays out in neighboring D.C., your food bank is working hard to serve people in West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio. You yourself worked all day yesterday. How much of a surge are you seeing?
Wow, it's, let me just qualify and say first, we distributed 50 tons of food yesterday.
Wow.
Alone. But we started seeing the surge toward the middle of October, typically when SNAP benefits run out, right, for those that we serve, because SNAP benefits are not meant to support a family's entire food bill. But then we had, you know, the government shutdown piece. We have Coast Guard, we have 2 federal prisons in our service area, TSA, and then we've got contractors who work for the government that were experiencing those first missed paychecks.
That's crazy.
At least double.
I would be looking to get a different job immediately. I remember when working for the federal government used to be like the job to be, because they didn't pay as much money, but it would be super safe. Working for the federal government or working for the government, getting a government job, whether you was a city employee or you was a state employee, whatever, those were the safest jobs. Those were the safest positions to have. You didn't have to worry about, you didn't make as much money, but it was usually a lot more stable. You didn't make as much money, but it was usually a lot more stable. And those jobs proved to be a lot more successful in the 2008 crisis. In the 2008 crisis, when women went to school, all right, let me just break it down for you. When women went to school, they didn't go to school to make a bunch of money. They went to school to get a government job. When women went to school, they did not go to make a lot of money. They went for stability. They expected to be at these jobs for 10 years or more. So what happened was, because they expected to be at these jobs for 10 years or more, they expected to also get their student loans forgiven. Now, you didn't have to go into a major hard degree program to get a decent government job. You just had to get in there, and then to get a degree or to get an advanced degree, the government would either subsidize it or pay for it, and then that would be the pathway for them to get a higher position. So when they did these type of things, we didn't really pay that much attention to it, because this is what gave them their leg up on men. Not only did they tie themselves to the federal government when it came to food stamps, but they also tied themselves to the federal government when it came to their success. So if it wasn't a government job, that's why men, a lot of times, they went into trades, they went into private, right? They went into publicly traded companies. They would make way more money. Listen. Y'all not hearing me. This is why women would say that they were the most educated, but they still had a lot of student loan debt, because the play has always been government. Government and I ain't just talking about black women, I'm talking about all women. Government has always been, in our lifetime, in my 43 years on this earth, has always been the play for women. Whether they worked for the government, whether they depended on food stamps, whether they was leveraging family court, they depended on government. So anytime that a woman was going to school, she was not going to go into Wall Street. She was not going to become a software engineer. She was not becoming a civil engineer, an architect, or any of this stuff. They would go into liberal, or they would pick any fucking thing. And it's because they wanted to make work for universities, nonprofits, and government entities, which would then, and they didn't care how much in student loans they took out, because they was going to be on an income-based repayment plan, and then the government was going to forgive it after 10 years. This is why it was so easy for the Democrats to appeal to women when they said, hey, we are going to give you free student loans. We're going to forgive your student loans. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Because they depended on the government. So that was their safe haven. They talked down on men. You don't want to have a real conversation, but I'm going to have one with you today. They talked down on men because they didn't think that nothing could happen to them. Then they start doing all of this dumb shit, diversity, equity. They start creating whole positions for themselves that didn't even exist. I'm the diversity, equity, and inclusion director. What the fuck is that? What does that mean? What does that mean? What type of position is that? Right? So what we have been experiencing is a form of socialism, right? A form of socialism cloaked around the idea that we are educating ourselves, but we aren't. That's why, even though they got all of these degrees, they were looking for stability, and then they would talk down on men and say, hey, y'all falling behind. Y'all not getting as educated as us. Y'all not going into school as us. Y'all not doing this. Y'all not doing that. And in reality, they still never made more than us. No group of women, this is a fact, this is not my opinion. No group of women, zero, zilch, nada, not one group of women ever made more than their men, no matter how educated that they became. As a whole, they never made more than men. And so men are genuine risk takers, right? So they're going to give it their all. They're going to go into private equity. They're going to go into trades. They're going to bank on themselves. They're going to start their own businesses. They're going to do all of these things. And now the Great Reset is not just when it comes to welfare, government assistance. It's all encompassing. It's all encompassing, right? Because now you can't get a position based off of the fact that you're a woman and you're black and you're gay and all of this stuff. Now, the reason that they got so upset when it became merit-based hiring is because you had to actually fucking compete. You have to compete. Y'all don't think it's jobs out there. It's plenty of jobs out there. You just don't want to do those types of jobs because you're used to getting in the office. Let me show you what you're used to doing. Hey, girl. No, girl. I was at the club last night. Oh, I was at the club last night. Let me set my purse down. Did you clock me in? Oh, don't worry about it. He don't know nothing anyway. I'm the assistant. Woo! Let me put my hot sauce down I got in my purse. By the time that girl, these customers is getting on our nerves, and I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I know one thing: this man that I was talking to yesterday, yeah, he busted down for a real one. He gonna ask if he can sleep on my couch, but I don't think I'm gonna let him sleep on my couch because, he ain't got no job. He ain't got no job. Yeah, girl. I mean, shoot, it don't matter. Yeah, I'm a big back, but don't mean nothing. These little young chicks, they ain't doing nothing anyway. That's all you did was gossip. You had added no fucking value to any organization whatsoever. You added no value to any organization whatsoever. You was late. You came into these industries. You had a bad fucking attitude. And every time that I went to go get my license plate renewed, or I would have to go to the government agency office, go to the government agency office. I go there all the time. I go to the county and stuff all the time to get the titles, pay the taxes, whatever, right? Transfer titles and it's always a bunch of women and some sassy man over there. A bunch of women and some sassy man in the office gossiping, being slow to get to the window. It's 15 people back there behind this glass window, and this chick is taking all day to come to the fucking window to come and give me my paperwork. Girl, what is you doing? Get your big ass up and come and get me my paperwork. What we talking about? Everybody always on lunch. Everybody tired. And so that's what they would do. That's what they would do. So they would go to school, and then they gonna start to set some fucking parameters. Let me tell you how deceitful these women has been, right? Then they gonna start putting some standards on this shit. If you don't got a degree, then you can't come and apply for this job. So they gonna start putting the barrier to entry to some basic shit that they've been doing their whole lives, right? So that job has always been clerical work. The man that was taking care of business, his wife wanted something to do once the children started to get big and grow out the house, so she wouldn't work for the fucking government, or she wouldn't become a school teacher or something. Then they start putting parameters on the shit because they thought that they was too good. Hey, listen, if you want to come in here and type on this computer right here, buddy, you're going to have a degree. What kind of degree? I don't really care what kind of degree it is, but you got to have a degree in order to qualify to type on this goddamn piece of computer right here and print out some papers. Okay, cool. I got you. So then men said, all right, cool. Y'all got it. You good. You the big bad wolf. You tough. You doing what you doing. Now what we see happening here is a correction. Because God don't like ugly. Because God don't like ugly. God don't like ugly. You've been doing what you want to do all this time, and you think that you just gonna keep on doing what you want to do when you want to do it, and that we just gonna take it. We just gonna deal with it. We got tired. You beat the system. You beat it to fucking death. You've been robbing for a long time. Now it's 42 million of you motherfuckers trying to figure out where you're gonna get your next meal from. Because I remember when they started laying off and the Department of Government Efficiency came in and you said, here's my degree. Here's my degree. Ha ha. If we come into the private workforce, you gonna be in trouble. You gonna be in trouble. Okay, cool. So we said, all right, cool. We gonna see. We gonna fucking see. I'm gonna see just how good you are. And now they out there. Oh my God. Oh, I got 6 kids by 4 different baby daddies. Who's gonna feed them? So you can't call one of the 4. You can't call one of the 4 to come and fix this situation. I know. Listen. I know everything that y'all. Let me show you something. Let me show you the 2 things that I used to see these big backs inside of these places when they would go to after hours. This is the 2 things that they had. Siri, stop. Hey, Siri, stop. You kept some hot sauce. And before y'all turned on Puffy, you kept your some Ciroc. You loved Apple. That's why this is so empty. And then for the young ones, for the young big backs in training, you love some Casamigos. Y'all love Casamigos. See how empty this is? The young big backs in training, they like Casamigos. For the old hoes, they loved Apple Ciroc. Oh, give me some Apple Ciroc. And we supporting Black. Puffy on it. Come in, put your hot sauce on everything. Go to your government job, and then you're good. That's what they did. Listen, I cannot be more honest. This is the honest to God truth. This is what it is. This is just straight up what it is. I could not be any more honest. And it had the nerve to talk down on me. And I said, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't live on government assistance your whole life and then start talking down on men. This is why you got the food pantries busting. This is why you got the food pantries busting. I'm not gonna be out here paying for fucking groceries. I'm not giving them no food pantries. I'm gonna do the same thing I've been doing way before y'all start getting mad at the fact that they shut the government down. I'm staying out the way. I'm gonna give to the homeless. I'm giving to the homeless. I'm not giving to no food pantries. I'm not doing none of that. I'm gonna go straight to the streets like I've been doing the whole time, and I'm giving to the homeless. Fuck that. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Begging. I'm giving to my homeless crew, and I got the same people that I've been dealing with all of this time. I'm not gonna be out here dealing with this foolishness. Drink your Apple Ciroc like you've been doing. Drink Casamigos for the young big backs in training, and they all act like they keep a hot sauce in their purse. And this is the real stuff. Like this, the hot sauce that they want. All of that, watered down Tabasco sauce and all of that stuff. No, they want red hot. All right, they want Frank's red hot. They don't want nothing but Frank's red hot. You keep on having Tabasco sauce. You want to get the authentic stuff. We not getting nothing authentic. Only thing authentic inside of the Black community is Frank's red hot right here. This is the one. Cayenne pepper sauce. Don't get no different stuff. Don't get the other one. This is the one that they want. Now, if they get a little bougie, they might try to act like they stepping out. Oh, girl, I get the other kind. Nah, nigga, you was raised on Frank's. Frank know you. Frank know you. You was raised on Frank's. Don't you lie to me. Don't no. Oh, so now you want Texas Pete's.
Inquiry for how to access the charitable food system.
I don't believe y'all.
Mobile pantries, we typically prepare for 250 families. Had to bump up to 350, still had over 400 households show up, went to 400, and then had 800 families. 192 of those had never accessed the charitable food system before.
Me too.
We had not seen them. Yesterday, we did an incredible amount of home deliveries to seniors and veterans, our most vulnerable, right, who don't have access to food. It's really been quite a tidal wave of, it doesn't look like it's going to crash anytime soon.
Yeah, and I've no doubt these families are so appreciative. 50 tons of food in one day.
It's rough out here, man. I feel bad a little bit.